Ooh, by heck, it's a bit chilly tonight. Hey, YouTube, back again. Once again with it. Yeah, can you see me? Yeah, it's quite well lit, isn't it? I'll move you in on the rods in a bit, but I've come back to East Halton. Quite frankly, I wasn't going to come fishing tonight, but Mrs. knows what I'm like, don't you? And she knows that I'll get to about 7 o'clock and I'll be peed off I didn't come. So I've come to, I don't know if it's my closest mark, but it's certainly very easy to get to. I've come to East Halton again. I did go out last night to Fuller Street. Matt, Mike and the lads, I'm sorry. I've got the intro recorded, but I then came back to actually do some more talking to the video, turned everything on, and the GoPro just went, nah, I'm dead. I went through my other batteries that you saw in my box, and as I predicted, they hadn't received or hadn't held on to any charge. So that video is scrap. For craps and giggles, I'll stick the intro to that video on the end of this video. If it's any good, I've not watched it yet. But yeah, it was a good, fun session. I had 3 good bites. One was definitely something of size, but nothing came in. So it was a blank session. I'll be honest, I don't hold out much better hope for tonight's session. But if you ain't got a rod in the water, if you ain't got a hook in the water, you definitely ain't going to catch anything, are you? So I've come back down to East Halton, as I've already said. Those of you I know are going to ask how I get here, or how to get here. I'm trying to remember the name of the road. I'll try and remember to put it in the description below the video, along with the other YouTubers that you should go and subscribe to. Because I can't remember, is it Spittle Road or something? Spittle, down the, you know, there's a road called, I think it's called Spittle Road, that just literally you put East Halton into Google, you find this road and it just literally runs straight to the coast. There's nothing on it, doesn't go anywhere else. Or to the wall, should I say. And you just drive all the way to the end and then you pick a place to fish. There's me and one other fella here tonight, and the other fella, I didn't notice who I was, he didn't realise, and not that it really matters, because I know you don't please all the people all the time, but he's not a fan of YouTubers. Of one in particular who does a lot of videos from Immingham Wall or Stellingborough Wall. He's really not a fan of him. Yeah. I didn't let on who I was because he was mid-rant, but hey-ho. If you're watching this, hey, listen, not personal, I completely get it. Nobody, you can't, you might watch my thing and go, what an arse, he blanks all the time, he don't know how to fish. But in fairness, neither me nor the other gentleman you are speaking of claim to be an instructional video. We're just vlogs, we come, we fish, and we have a bit of a rant. So I'll roll the credits and I'll see you in a sec. It's an excellent way to start the next segment of the video, isn't it? And then he goes and does it again. So yeah, tonight really, obviously it's about the fishing, but I've just come really get a video out there for you guys. I mean, if there's fish in it, awesome, you know. And I'd love to catch the unicorn, for me at least, the unicorn cod. I think when I catch one, I need to turn it upside down so that its beard looks like a unicorn horn. Yeah, tell you what though, this is a spooky mark. When you're used to the other marks, or even at beach really, because it's weird because you stood on a wall, but there's nothing behind you other than fields, and it can be a bit spooky. So yeah. I've come down. The missus told me basically, well, she didn't tell me to go fishing, but she went, look, you sure you're not going fishing? 10 minutes later, you sure you're not going fishing? She says, because you're going to sit there and then you're going to get to a point at night and you're going to be a mardy arse. And she's not wrong. So I've decided, come, have a dead quick session, get a video done for you guys. Like I said, hopefully we'll get some fish in it. I think, to be honest, the rod tips are switched this time. You've got the red on the close in, the blue on the one that's a little bit further out, but I am fishing this quite close in on both rods tonight. My shoulder's really giving me some jip, so my casting's not up to much at all tonight, so they really are both quite close in. But once again, you don't need to be in any range. You don't need to be a brilliant caster to get into the fish on this mark, he says. Like he knows a load about this mark, because I don't. But the gent who I was speaking to does know a bit about this mark, and he says he fishes it at about 20-30 yards. And last year he had 2 cod. Don't sound like a lot, but 2 cod from here. One was 8 ounce, the other was 6 pounds. So, you know, they are there and they are close in. And I know Mikey and the lads, they will vouch for this. As one of the young lads, I think it's Matt's son, he's nailed 2 or 3 cod, and he's only casting 20-30 yards out on Cleethorpes Wall. I was corrected as well, it is Cleethorpes Wall, and that was from a person who lives at the side of it, so so yeah, tonight's probably going to be a bit of time lapsing. You've already seen me set up time lapse. It's going to be maybe a bit of ranting, a bit of chatting, bit of back and forth. Well, not back and forth, it's one way, isn't it, really? But a bit of a chat with you guys, really, a bit of a catch up. Talk about the plans that I've got for summer, the things I would like to do. Yeah, just have a brew, sit. It is nippy, it is cold, the sky is clear, so it is going to get very cold tonight. I've put 2 very frozen baits out because, like I said, I hadn't got any bait out to defrost, and this mark is that close that it is still completely frozen. So I'm not going to rush to bring the baits in and out. They can stay out there a little bit. I'll pop you on the first time lapse of the night. I'm going to sit and have a brew and get some warmer clothes out the boot. And yeah, I'll probably talk to you again at first reeling. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, let's have a look at these rods. I think it's well and truly bait change time, although yeah, defrosted bait is still not defrosting. I have seen a couple of knocks on both rods, on the little taps. Which one should we go with first? This one first. On the little taps, so I'm not guaranteeing a fish, but, and this certainly doesn't feel like it has. I need to remember that this has got a 7 ounce, is it 7 ounce, the green breakaway? It's got a bigger lead on it than I'm used to. So, and now that lead's just broken the surface. Nada. I don't think. I'm sure it looked like there was something on there. Didn't drop it on the wall, did I? No. It did look like there was something on there, but alas, there was not. The bait's a bit of a mess. There's a little bit of weed on the line. Nothing major. Nothing major. So we'll reshoot this with some fresh bait. Like I said, definitely saw. I don't know if the time lapse will show them up. Definitely a couple of good knocks. Just been sat in the back of the car enjoying a cup of tea and doing some Valentine's shopping. This is the rig's come in quite a state. Sorry about my breathing, it's quite cold. And since having COVID, I do seem to struggle to breathe in the cold weather. So make of that what you will, conspiracy theorists, but it's probably more due to my size than anything else. Not saying that anybody's wrong that believes in conspiracy theories. Each to their own. But hey, put it this way. Imagine the compensation claim if it found that the vaccine's a complete fallacy, shall we say. I don't reckon that there'll be anything. There's all these theories about gene therapy in the vaccines. At the end of the day, you need to remember that gene therapy is essentially what a vaccine is. So it's not really a surprise, is it? But hey ho, let's not get into all that, eh? I believe everybody has their own feelings and everybody's entitled to that, whether you believe in vaccinations or not. Right, let's find my little snippies. Oh, it's amazing how quickly your hands get cold. Yeah, my excellent hand warmer seems to struggle now when I've got it in my pocket. I don't know whether my pocket's starving it of oxygen or what. If you use a Zippo hand warmer, do let me know, because it'll be something I'm doing. So as soon as I take it out of my pocket and leave it in the fresh air, it seems to pick back up. God, I honestly had forgotten how hard it is to handle baits with cold hands. I honestly Honestly, I'd forgotten. Right, see if either these blacks actually, they were defrosting and now the outside of the paper is frosted up again. So let's see if we can put some worms on. I might see if I can carve up a squid and send some squid and black out on the other line. Well, I've got one carp bait left, one prepped carp bait left, and then a couple of bluey and squid wraps. So I'll use them up first, I think. And we'll just I intentionally brought a packet of blacks, a packet of black worms for the flatty rig, and then I thought I'll use up my wraps on the distance rig. I said distance, so neither of them are going out at any particular distance. But I tell you what, winter's here, she's cold now. You probably heard that splash. That's how close in that's fishing. Maybe 20, maybe 30 yards. Really not far at all. See if they'll pull that line tight. Is it? Are you going to pull it tight for me? Yeah. This one is going out a little further, but not by much, but then it's got slightly larger hooks on it. Those alignment marks do not align properly on this rod. So there is a little bit of weed. In fact, there's quite a bit of weed coming in on this line. Oh, this was actually further out than I thought it was. Still not at the leader knot yet. There it is. Yeah, a bit of a clump of weed on this. That would have been the knocks that I saw. Nothing major. A little bit of bladder rack. So really nothing too major there. And the bait's still in really good condition. But I'll change it because it'll be washed out now. Clean off some of this Tampax weed, as it's becoming known that I call it. On the rig a little bit. Yeah, this hasn't been touched in the slightest. This is bluey and squid. But I will persevere with it and I will use it up, because at the end of the day, if something like a cod is out there, it'll have bluey and squid all day long. Start casting my own weights. That'll probably be in my next live that I do. Not that the live is going to be about how to cast weights, but I will probably go live again when I'm next casting some. I'm doing the Gemini weights, so I think everybody seems to do the breakaway weights, so I just thought, you know what, let's be a bit different. I will be putting some up for sale. Won't be hundreds, not at least not to begin with. But the request I made with you guys about whether or not you'd be interested in buying rigs, weights, wraps, all that kind of thing. Just a bit of weed stuck in the eye. The response actually, although it's taken a while to come back to me, the response actually was quite good. There's been a few people asking, saying, when am I going to get round to doing it? And the reason I haven't rushed to get round to doing it is because nobody responded on the videos. Everybody's responded in person. So, you know, when I put all the in-person requests together, it actually, when I sat down and thought about it, it actually surmounted to a fair few requests. So I will get my arse in gear at some point soon and get that sorted for you. Was that a real click? I mean, the other reason I've gone for the Gemini weights is, yes, they tend to be a bit more expensive, and it's not sort of profit-wise. The components and the work that goes into them is a little bit more. And being a tight Yorkshireman that I am, it just seemed sense to save a bit of money and do those. I don't know. So yeah, these Zippo, these, right, when they're in your pocket, when they're in the pocket, should you be that way up or that way up? The filament, obviously, or the element is in there. Oh, yeah, it is burning. But yeah, like I said, mine seems to be going out. I dropped it yesterday and it went out, and now it seems to be struggling to stay lit. So I don't know whether I've damaged something internally. Not that there's much to the internals of them, just a bit of wadding. But yeah, I remember having one as a kid that was like a little stick of charcoal, and that was really good. But I haven't seen them yet. Ooh. So yeah, the leads I'm now making. I'm not really paying much attention to what colour the leads are supposed to be, blah blah blah. I'm just casting weights in my preferred size, which is 5 ounces. If someone messages me and says, you know, how much for 5-6 ounce weights, I'll figure it out and I'll put a price together and I'll let you know. Obviously, I will ship them, but shipping, having not looked into it, shipping I would imagine for weights is going to start at around about £3.5-4 quid for 5 weights, 5 maybe 10 weights. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. But if you're interested in weights, if you're interested in rigs. Not saying that my rigs are anything special, but I know there's a lot of fellas out there that suffer with dexterity issues. There's a lot of rig sellers, rig makers that perhaps don't make like clip down rigs with attractors on and things like that. Or if they do, they're crimped and things like that, whereas mine are customizable power gum. If you're interested in buying stuff like that, let me know. And I'll sort something out. Obviously, you know, we'll work through PayPal and things like that. I'm not dealing in sending out banking information. PayPal, Venmo, things like that. There's ways and means without having to send banking information. But yeah, the wraps, I'm not sure. I know there is, because the reason I'm not sure on the wraps is because, you know, bait wraps like squid and carp and squid and fish and squid and blacks and basically anything with squid. The reason I'm not sure as to whether or not to sell those is logistics. It's selling them. I don't mind selling them local. I don't mind making them to order for local fishermen, especially if it's fishermen I'm meeting up to go out fishing with. Obviously, they're not cheap. There is a premium on them. They do take time to make and all that. But I can do vac-packed wraps, you know, wraps in fives, things like that of mackerel, bluey, and at the moment carp until I run out of carp, all paired obviously with squid. So let me know if that's, you know, if you're a local, or if, you know, if you regularly see me out and about, or you know that I'm going to be fishing with you again soon and you would like some, let me know. I'll figure out a price and I'll let you know. I think usually it works out about £1 per wrap, so that's you know, packs of 5 or a straight fiver. I've not got any closer to sorting out any apparel. I apologise. I know there's a lot of fellas waiting for beanies. There's a lot of fellas waiting for hoodies, jumpers, things like that. I promise I will get round to that soon. I need to speak to RMR Designs about reflective and things like that, stuff like that that they can get, and what other sort of gear they can get and what they can't get. See, look, it seems to have gone out again. It's been in my pocket 2 minutes. I mean, it comes back when I take it out, but it's definitely seems to struggle. I don't know. Maybe it needs taking apart. Like a Zippo lighter, you used to have to repack them every once in a while. Oh. What else is there? That blue rod's getting a few little, tiny little knocks on. I doubt they're showing up on the camera. Which suggests to me that there's either crabs out there, maybe pin whiting. But we'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed for a fish, eh? What else? What else? Oh, that was it. Sort of future plans. Well, let me do this first of all, guys. Let me just get this out of the way. If you're enjoying the video, you know, the fact that it is just frank, upfront, raw-ish, I do edit some of it out, fishing. This is what I do, whether I catch, whether I lose all my gear, whether I blank, the videos go out there. So if you're enjoying this and you're putting up with my inane ramblings, you can always turn them down and put some music on. Please do press that subscribe button, especially if it's red. If it's grey, don't press it, but if it's red, press it. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. If you're not already registered with YouTube, it takes minutes these days. There are a wealth of other YouTubers out there. Trust me, it's worth it. There's loads of content out there for you to watch and enjoy. Some of them are in the video description, so if you scroll down beneath the video in a minute and click the show more, there is some links. I've put them there for you to some other East Coast fishermen. There isn't many on this bank. I need to add Bogue to my regular rotation in the links. I will try and remember to do that on this video, so note to self. Where am I? Where was I? Yeah, Press the subscribe button, press the thumbs up or the thumbs down button, join in the comments section. We always try and have a bit of discussion down in the comments section. I've no question really to ask you this week. No, I've no questions to put out there this week that I can think of. Might come back to you later. Do check out the other YouTubers. Do press the subscribe button, press the thumbs up button. If you want to be notified of when I upload, press the bell button. I don't upload regularly. I upload when I go out. Generally speaking, I get out once on a weekend, so generally speaking, you get one video a week. But on bank holidays, summer holidays, when I'm just on holiday from work, sometimes you'll get more than one a week. So you don't get pestered with notifications. You only get notified when when I've uploaded a new video and when I go live. So it's not like you get a notification every day. It's shaking again. Is that blue tip? Only ever so slightly. So yeah, do consider doing that. All those things do really help the channel. So plans, yes. I've spoken to a few YouTubers, and hopefully I can come up with more than one venue. But on my coast, in August, at what we call Bonkers Bank, I can share locations and how-tos and things like that at a later date. This is only sort of preliminarily putting the feelers out there. I've spoken to a few of the local fishermen, they're well up for it. What I'm thinking of doing is having a bit of a, not a match, but a fishing party. I don't know if that's what you call it. But just having a bit of a get together, a bit of a meet and greet with some YouTubers, with as many fishermen as want to come along. And for me, the best space for that is going to be Bonkers Bank. Is going to be the bench at Bonkers Bank. Now, it is a walk from the car park. I do appreciate that. There we go. That put a bit of a bend in the rod. I'm just waiting for whatever it is to actually take it. It's probably just weed congregating on the line, isn't it? And I'm thinking, yeah, summer. I'm thinking the first August bank holiday, so that's usually the first Monday in August, isn't it? I'm thinking of doing it on a bank holiday, primarily because obviously more people can get there, but it's going to depend entirely on tides and times. I haven't got, at least I don't think I have. Let me just check, actually. I did get a book the other day, a tide times book, which obviously has a rough guess in it. Well, I say I got it, Rosa got it, and then she can't remember where she put it, and I asked her to put it safe. But asking her to put something safe is like the worst idea in the world. Oh, there was a car coming down then. So it's not in there. It's not in there. Did she put it in the door? It's not in there. So I've got no idea where she put it. If you've got a 2022 tide time book, can you look up the estimated tide times and heights for both August bank holidays? That's the one at the start of the August bank holiday and the one at the end. And what I'm hoping to do, at least sort of myself wise, is to fish through. So fish a morning all the way through to the night and stay for the night, or fish the night all the way through to the morning. It's a secluded enough, out of the way enough beach where we shouldn't be upsetting anybody. And like I said, there's enough space to get as many people as want to come down there. And it should be, in theory, it should be in the middle of smoothhound season. Just one night, you know, barbies, don't plan on lighting a fire, bring a barbie or a stove, Please don't plan on lighting a fire. There are bins down there, so if you're going to come, you know how much I ask you to take home what you bring. But there are bins on this beach that we can use. Bring a token if you want to add something to the bench. Check out my other video that I did where I showed what the bench is. It's really cool. I did a sort of walk around it. I'll try and remember to put a link up here, but it's an earlier video. Come on, stop playing with it. Whatever it is, whatever you are, stop playing with the bait and just take it. That's probably crabs, to be fair. We'll find out. I'm going to let it soak. But that's my plan. That's my idea. That's something that I want to do. I've spoken to the likes of Shane, obviously Jimmy, the lads I was out with in the video the other week. I've spoken to them. They're up for it. There's other guys I'd love to invite, but obviously some don't like me and aren't going to come. I mean, if they want to come and sort out as differences, they're more than welcome. I've got no issues with anybody. It's their issue with me. But yeah, I just thought, you know what, we'll have a bit of an event. We'll get some YouTubers involved, so you can come and meet some of us. I mean, by no means are we massive YouTubers, but you know, we'll see what we can sort out. I'll have a word with some that live a little bit further away, see if they'd be interested in coming. But I'm not going to say, you know, there's this person there, there's this person there, there's this person there. There's just going to be at least me, and you know, let's just have a bit of a get together on the beach. Let's get a load of fishermen out on beach and let's have a bit of a party, a few beers, and provided nobody's driving, and have an overnight session, light some stoves, have some burgers, and make a bit of a night of it. I don't know. It just sounds like fun to me. Does it to you? If it sounds like fun to you, remember to subscribe, and I'll try and remember to, and we'll sort it. We'll sort it. And I guarantee I'll probably end up going to that evening, and there'll be me on my own. But hey, I'll fish. I don't care. And it's smooth down season. I'm really looking forward to. I don't know what actually I look forward to most now. Cod season, because cod seems to be my nemesis. Although I didn't actually get a smooth hand on video last summer. I did have some, but it was, yeah, seems to be the curse of the camera, as Kurt calls it. Yeah. So that's my big plan for summer. I was planning on doing a sort of drive around to go see some of the YouTubers, but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna. It's a whole world of expense, and it's a whole world of time away from the family and things like that. That, quite frankly, at the moment, I just don't want to do. At least if we come to Bonkers Bank, and if I can get some local fishermen to come with me, some that live locally to me, I might be able to bring the family with me for at least part of the event. And if those fishermen are going home and not spending the entire night, they can maybe I can organise a lift home for them. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's just sort of spitballing at the moment. It's just something that's going around in my head, and something that I think sounds like a bit of fun. I try to be all about community. As any YouTuber knows that has met me, I'm all for supporting other YouTubers and supporting the community of fishermen. I'm not one of these that keeps things secret. As you know, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people fall out with me. Because I believe it's a sport, it should be celebrated, it should be shared, and as current fishermen should pave the way for the next generation. The next generation, as I've said in a previous video, are the generation that are going to be looking at YouTube and things like that on how to learn how to fish. I know, and please chime in the comments below, I know I have inspired a small handful of people to pick up sea fishing. I also know I've inspired other pre-existing fishermen to try new marks, new areas, new locations. And I know this because these people have spoken to me about it. And you know, there is no better reward for me than knowing that that person, Jason, I'm looking at you mainly, has perhaps spent a little bit too much money but is now a sea angler. Whether they've come from what's the saying, puddle dipping, whether they've come from fishing in ponds and lakes and canals, they've come over to sea fishing, or whether they're just completely new to the sport altogether. There's no bigger gratification for me putting these videos out there than somebody saying, it's because of you I've started sea fishing. Because it's just an amazing feeling to know that I've inspired somebody to be able to do these things. I told you tonight was going to be more about ranting than it was going to be about fishing, didn't I? Yeah, the rod tips are just not stopping. There's just little taps and little movements, little knocks, little shakes, but no firm takes yet. Raw fishing and me. If you like it, press the subscribe button, whichever corner it's in. It's a red button in the corner of the video, or you can click on my little logo, which is down in one of the corners. You can put your mouse over that if you're on a computer, and it'll offer the subscribe button. I am also on Facebook. I don't really do any other social medias. A lot of people say, why don't I do TikTok, or why don't I do Instagram? I'm not a photographer. The reason I love vlogging so much is because I turn on the camera and I chat crap to the camera. I don't have to think about getting a picture or something. I don't have to think about doing this, that and other. I can just talk away to myself. Well, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to you. It's the other thing I really like, the other feedback that I get. Is the way I conduct my videos makes a lot of people who maybe necessarily still enjoy sea fishing, still enjoy watching sea fishing, but maybe they can't get out as often as they like, or they just can't get out. Brian, please chime in the comments below. I know you enjoy the videos. And that offer is always there. If you're ever well enough, I will try my utmost to be able to get to you, to take you out. That offer is never rescinded. It's always out there for you. For Brian, you know who you are. Yeah, that's the other thing I really like. Sorry, yeah, I went off on a bit of a tangent there. I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I'm gonna stop having rants and tangents. I'm gonna pop you back on time lapse, and I'm gonna have myself another cup of tea. So I'll see you in a bit, because I'm getting a bit deep and a bit, shall we say, sidetracked. So I'll see you in a bit. I can't fit my gloved finger on the record button. I think that'll probably go on time-lapse record, that will. I'll let that one run for a lot longer than I intended, but to be honest guys, I've just been enjoying a bit of peace and quiet. The fella down in the other bay came down for a bit of a chat. We've had a bit of a chat. Wow, he does not like social media. While we were chatting, there was a knock on the, I think it was the blue rod. It probably will have shown up in the time lapse. But basically, I've turned you back on because we're getting close to last cast o'clock. I've decided I'm not going to open up any more bait. My squid actually still hasn't defrosted. So that stayed in the packet and go back in the freezer when I get home, and then I'll make some wraps up later. The blacks that are still wrapped up are still also frozen. That's how cold it is out here tonight. So I'm just going to use, in fact this could actually end up being last cast. Depends how many blacks are left in that wrap, and I might just send out for last cast however many blacks are left on the pennel rig, because I've just sent out my last bluey squid cocktail with a black strap to it as well, so a real cocktail bait there. And then the other one's just got 3 blacks on each hook, just on the flapper rig there. But it is unusual, just discussing with my mate there, just how unusual it is not to be seeing the flatties either. We've not seen the cod so far in the numbers that have been expected, or are normally expected. The whiting hung around a lot later than usual, but they seem to have largely gone now. But the flatties aren't here. There's got to be something, and I know a lot of people say it's cyclic, the way the water works is cyclic, that things change, that you know, and obviously fish probably have some inbuilt, I don't know if you guys can see me, but I'm going to keep talking, probably have some inbuilt sort of ability or knowledge, or, you know, genetic knowledge, to not always go to the same feeding grounds. Because you know, we're here and we've been wiping out the feeding grounds, but also, you know, before we were here, the amount of fish that were here probably also had a similar effect of wiping out feeding grounds, or severely weakening feeding grounds. So maybe there's something to it. I don't know. You know me, I like to have a bit of a rant and a bit of a chat about theories and stuff like that. So, but yeah, bit of a strange video, bit of a different video tonight, because we're going to have a collection of time lapses with one giant rant in the middle. But I do like it down here. You've got the convenience of being on a wall, but it's nice and clean. It's not packed, generally speaking, and it's a bit more, it's a bit chilled out, and that's sort of the main reason why I came, really, was more for a chill out than a fishing session. I know that sounds probably very strange, but that is what it is. I've come more to have a chill out and do a video and sort of have a rant to the camera and a few bits and pieces, you know, do bits and pieces like that, than about the fishing tonight, which is unusual, I know. Oh, it is still warm. But sometimes it's just about being out in it. It's not always about the fish. Sometimes it's just about being out. It's a really pleasant night. It's cold, but it's not wet. It's pleasant. But don't get me wrong, I'm looking forward to summer fishing. Before I forget, I will type some responses to some of these comments. But I've just had a really busy day, and the comments on the videos or on the last video, I just wanted to I just want to give some mentions, actually, because there's some really not nice. I said not nice comments. That's wrong. There's some really nice. Or some discussion points. Chlorine 36 said, I was talking to a guy fishing next to me on Whitby West Pier a couple of weeks ago, and our conversation included the crab die-off. Now, if you watched my recent videos, it's something that I've mentioned quite heavily. And he believed, the person that Chlorine 36 was speaking to, was that apparently the River Tees was over-dredged too deep. And all the crap that had been discharged into the Tees over the years from ICI and BS has been disturbed, thus polluting the majority of the northeast coast. But the suspicion is that may well be too far up to affect us. Well, in actual fact, Whitby really, for the most part, the sea is actually going to wash down from Whitby. So, Chlorine, your comment makes a lot of sense. Like I said, I will write replies to these, so if you don't see this, then hopefully it was gone. Andy Young, a foreigner living up here. Yes, I come from Sussex. Anyway, I went to Cleethorpes yesterday, and I thought I would fish up. Sorry. 3 up and 2 down. At Cleethorpes, really, especially if you're on the beach, you can't fish that long. Well, you can follow it out, but you're following it a long bloody way. It's a very long, shallow beach, is Cleethorpes. I pitched up fairly early and looked over the seafront, and someone had stolen the sea. It was gone. I saw a ferry. Well, I thought it was a ferry. It was so far away, it might have been a rowing boat or a paddleboarder. I'll just add that one in there. I'll just ad-lib that in for you there, Andy. Decided to abandon. I shall go somewhere East Halton next week. Andy, this video's right up your alley then. I'm on East Halton now. I'm having to change everything about my beach fishing, so carry on please. I am learning much from your vlogs and vids, even after 40 odd years of fishing. Never stop learning, apparently. Andy, I think never a truer word was said. You do never stop never stop learning, and I think that's true of most things. Hobbit the hamster, that's Alf. Informative video, shame you didn't catch, but never mind, it gets you out. Yeah, you're not right, you're not wrong, that's why I'm out tonight. He's looking at a full day and night someplace, maybe try Bridlington Harbour Wall, bit of drop shotting as well. I've got no idea what drop shotting is. Alf is another one really who most of his fishing knowledge comes from down south. Paul Bennett commented on the Huttoft Cart Harris. This is plain and simply an excellent fishing video. No, right, I'm not going to go on there, Paul. But thank you very much for your kind words. They are so greatly appreciated and mean a lot. Thank you. Richard Jarvis, the mighty Richard, always loved. Nice one, shame about the fish, great work. Picture great, audio great, keep the good work up. Thank you, Richard, as always. Your comments are very well received, as is your support out there in the socials land. Pablo, it's more like the Enclosures Act, the ruling class stealing our land. Yes, the Enclosures Act. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Pablo, I think you're quite right. And that will be in relation to the rant I had about the dock expansion and about the fact that I reckon that they will fence off the majority of Stalinborough to do that. And the fact that, you know, they pretty much already have. And if they could probably, if it wouldn't be vandalised, and I think if they could get away with it, they would fence off all of Cleethorpes Wall as well. Levo, the mighty Levo. Now, he is a knowledgeable East Coast fisherman, extremely knowledgeable East Coast fisherman. He does videos over at Levo's Angling Adventures. Link to his channel is always in my description. Hi Russ, really enjoyed your video. Great watch, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you for the shout outs, really appreciated. Not at all, as I've said many times, Levo, we are a community, not competition, in my opinion. What else does he go on to say? Look forward to the next one. I'll return the favour in my next outing on the beach. Tight lines. Thank you ever so much, Levo. It would be greatly appreciated. Your channel growth has been astronomical, considering for the most part you are the same as me. Don't advertise, but then you are a hell of a lot more knowledgeable than me, Levo. And I do hope one day to be able to meet up. I was hoping when I last came over that you were coming out, but unfortunately our paths did not cross. But I would love to get out, Levo, on the beach with you at some point very soon, and hopefully you can impart some of that wisdom on me and perhaps give me some casting tips, especially with the multiplier, because I would love for the multiplier to be my sort of I'd love to be able to do a dedicated flatty rod on the multiplier, shall we say, even though I think some people might say, well, it defeats the purpose of the multiplier. It's just a lovely lightweight little rig. Ooh, could we save the blank? Probably not. It's probably just a lead moving. Little vibrations on one of the rods there. So yeah, if you've put up with my time lapses and my crap choices in music, as quite often a few of you do point out, oh, I don't like that music, it's not suitable for fishing. Well, I'm sorry, I am limited and I can't cater to everybody. So I do try and play different types of music in the majority of my videos. Personally, I'm a metalhead, but I don't have much of that I can play. A lot of you probably breathed a sigh of relief there. Yeah, there's something going on with that red rod. We'll let it develop. And then the blue rod's just started doing exactly the same, so perhaps not. Perhaps there's a breeze out there somewhere. I'm going to do some rig tying videos in the coming weeks. I won't be out, I think, next weekend. So there is going to be a bit of a week or two's break, I think, between the next video, unless I do a midweek session. The tide times will be favourable and it will be possible, but it will probably just be a wall video. It won't be a beach video, although I was just going to say, I can't remember last time I did a beach video, but of course I did Huttoft last week, so I do try and shake things up, and I do try and not frequent the same venues time and time again. I know that may well shoot myself in the foot with regards to trying to increase knowledge of a particular area. But I don't know. I love the convenience of filming on the wall. I love the convenience of fishing on the wall, of having the car here at your disposal, having a nice comfy seat. But I would always, and I know a lot of you agree with me, I would always rather be on a beach. I genuinely would rather always be on a beach. I much prefer fishing on a beach than on... there we go. Something's still sniffing around that red rod, I think. Hopefully. Lots of little shakes and things like that. Hopefully there's something pecking away at it and something will hook itself. So yeah, I'm going to do some rig time videos. I would appreciate your feedback in the comments or on my Facebook, or if you message me or whatever, of any videos you have for good flatty rigs. I would love to experiment with some new tackle I've got. I've got some booby beads, booby beads, little rattly beads anyway. And I've got some floating beads as well, some float beads, in preparation of tying some flatty rigs. So I would love, as those of you that may have watched rig tying videos that I do before, you know that I don't steal anybody else's glory. If it's a rig I've seen on somebody else's video, credit where it's due. I don't necessarily think that I do a better job of making rigging up videos than anybody else. I just think I do it slightly, I may put a different spin on it, or you may see something on mine that was not clear on somebody else's. It may bring a rig together better in your mind. I don't know. And I know the rigging videos aren't really for everybody. So I tend to actually do them in a live stream. In fact, that may be what happens next weekend. I may just do a live stream making some leads and tying some rigs. But yeah, any experienced East Coast fisherman, not that many experienced East Coast fishermen watch my videos. Well, I say not many. There are a fair few of you out there, but if you have a particular go-to flatty rig for the flatty season, especially one where I can use a couple of the the fine wire hooks, because I just find them so much easier, so much better for flatties. Like I say, using what I was thinking of doing is a Paternoster rig. That's the the Wessex rig. And what I was thinking of doing is putting a floating bead on the long snood, the long flowing snood, to lift the bait up off the bottom slightly. And then I was thinking about putting a booby bead, a rattle bead, on the inline snood. So I generally only tie them with two, because I tend to find that that three hooks, really, fishing becomes more of a chore the more hooks you have to bait up. I don't like fishing over the mud, so this is going to be last cast. This, at least for the close in rig. Let's see what we've got left worm wise. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Literally one. I'll have a rummage around, see if I can find something to pair with it. Oh no, two. No, three. So we'll send a mega worm out, or a big worm out, on the Pennell rig for the last cast. Not there yet. Gonna give this, hopefully whatever was nosing around on, or hopefully whatever is still nosing around the red rod, as you can see it, the red tip light. Hopefully give that time to decide whether or not it actually wants to eat the worm it's nosing around. And then, like I said, the pennel will go back out at range with the last 3 worms on it. And that will be last cast. Because, once again, as regular subscribers will know, speaking of which, like, share, subscribe. I know roughly 70% of you watching this video are not pressing that subscribe button, but still watching a fair majority of the video. So you must be enjoying it. Please press the subscribe button and the thumbs up. I wonder if he's gone. It's all dark down there. I can't see his head torch. I can't see his tip lights. I wonder if he's packed up and gone home. What was I saying? Yeah, one last bait on the pennel at a bit of range. But the red rod is going to come in shortly. In fact, I'm going to stop waffling. I think we've given it enough time to whereby if it was going to take the bait, it would have done by now. So I think we'll have a look. See, I'm more inclined to believe that it's probably a chunk of weed sat on the line that's just flapping around and causing the line to shake. But let's not be completely pessimistic. I'm just trying to see if there's anything I can cocktail up with. I think literally all my bags now, bar one, are empty, and I don't really want to open up any fresh bait at this time in a session. It's too late in the session now. So yeah, let's. I've decided. Executive decision time. The Achios is coming in. I still don't think. I think chances are these little shakes, these little vibrations we're seeing, chances are it's just weed sat on the line. Yeah, that's. There's no weight to that at all. Turn the head torch on so at least I can see, because it's coming straight in over a weed bed. There it is. And yeah, no, it looks as though there's nothing there. In fact, not even the weed that I thought was there. I'm really going to have to take that base of silicone off. Oh no, there we go, some weed. So yeah, disappointing. I held out a bit of hope for that. So yeah, I've had all my rants, guys. I'm gonna start breaking this down now, start packing it down. It's gonna be a messy job, so I'll put it back on time lapse. So I'll see you shortly. I'm not saying bye yet. There is going to be, an outro, because we are going to have one more cast. So I'll see you in a bit. Well, guys and girls, as you can probably hear, the engine shears are running. It's last call from me now. That was my last cast. It was the last of my bait. And alas, it came to nothing. We've seen a few bites, or a few nibbles, but no takes tonight. So it's blank number 2 for me. 2 in a row so far, so let's hope it doesn't become a trend, or at least not for too long. Let me just clip this up, because for some reason I always struggle with this bit. And I've fluffed it again, I think. Oh no, what's going on? There we go. Yeah, blank number 2. But hey, listen, it's definitely always going to be a blank if you're not out with bait in the water, isn't it? So get out there, get fishing, and always, as always, tight lines and stay safe. I'll see you later. It is. Right, hey up YouTube. Oh, back down on North Wall again. I've been joined by some fellas and ladies, and well, they've gone to shop, haven't they? Yeah. Real proper impromptu session. I wasn't coming, and then I was, and now I'm here. So, what do you call this? You'll be able to answer this for me, because I never sure whether it's Grimsby or Cleethorpes. Here, right here.
When you get to Park Street.
No.
You know the traffic lights, where is it? What's that?
Ramsden's.
Ramsden. The old Ramsden's used to be, obviously.
Yes.
Well, once you cross there, it's Cleethorpes.
Right. So this is Cleethorpes.
This is Cleethorpes. This is North Wall Cleethorpes. This is what
Right.
we call it. Yeah.
I've always, because yeah, I never know what to call places.
Yeah. This is all the way down. Is Cleethorpes all the way back, right down to Pleasure Island, did that? Yeah.
So, yeah. So we're back here again tonight. Back in chase of the fabled cod, the unicorn. These guys have all had one. I ain't seen one yet this season.
You will.
So I've come to steal their spot. They're normally here, and I've come to steal their spot.
Anybody's spot, mate.
No, that's why I messaged you, because there's a fair few of you, and you're squeezing here, whereas there's only me. I could stand on my jacksie down there.
I mean, it's not our spot. It's whoever gets here first, isn't it, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I know, but it's a lot of space for one person.
Yeah. Well.
And I'm not.
Depends how big your rod is, doesn't it? Do you know when you've got casting with a fence?
It does, yeah. It's not the size of your rod though, it's how well you cast it, innit?
Yeah.
So, rod tips, I don't know if they're in frame. And tonight's video is going to be a short video because I've forgotten my batteries, so my rod tips aren't in frame. They've not stopped doing the jig all night. Well, all night. They've only been out 10 minutes, haven't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the high. I'll roll the credits. There's no setup thing because it was dark and I didn't turn camera on. So I'll see you in a bit with a time lapse probably. I think Kurt's on his way down, or is that your lads? They won't be coming back yet, would they? So I'll see you in a bit.